Hello and a warm welcome back. Today on the bench is a box full of stuff, full of goodies, hurrah! And this came from Mike the Bike. Bless him, same chap who gave me the soldering iron a while back. Like I say, it really looks after us. So first out of the box we've got a Tektronix Type 1A2 plug-in. I'm sure I've got a 1A2 somewhere, although at the moment I can't locate it. But the paper manuals, I mean, they always suffer from this, the binding, the ring binding things like go, because the plastic has just deteriorated over time. But I'm sure you can get them, so it's no big problem. But I far prefer the actual manual, because just everything is far clearer. And I find searching PDFs on my Linux PC a bit of a bind. So say I want to go from that page, which is, I mean, this is only a small menu, to say the end page, like there for a schematic. So you want to go from the circuit description to the schematic, circuit description back again, which you have to do a lot of time to understand the circuit. Well, with a PDF, with say, like for a big scope, like say the 545 or whatever, that can take 3 minutes, and it just eats your time up. And also, by the time you sort of remembered the bit that's over on page 10, say, and got to page 256, you've probably forgotten what was on page 10. So hence I prefer these manuals, and aren't they just feckin' beautiful and lovely? Because a lot of the PDFs you can't see the waveforms properly. So thank you, Mike, you're a gent and a scholar. Next out of the box, I'm just going to move the box, look, so we've got a bit more room. We've got a slightly, sure that wasn't beat up like that the other day, can't remember. This is a Tektronix. Let's pop you down a bit, look, make you a bit more comfortable. So I've got car jacks on the floor, oh for fuck's sake. Yep. So next we've got a Type 82 dual trace plug-in. It's the older one with the BNC in the middle of a turney selector thing that just selects your coupling, AC, DC or ground. I bet a lot of you who use oscilloscopes don't use the ground bit much. Well, you should do, especially if you're testing high voltage. If you're testing, for instance, like something with 250 volts or 400 volts on the anode or some part of the circuit, you've got a capacitor in there that charges up. And remember as well, you've probably got the DC component and the AC component on top or somewhere in there. So what you could be looking at in total is 500 volts or whatever. Anywho, so what you should do, obviously with the thing disconnected, with your lead disconnected, flick it onto ground, that discharges the capacitor, flick it back onto AC or DC or whatever. So this one looks, I think it's from a ship or a navy base, land base ship, which is what they call them. You get like HMS Fred or whatever, and it's somewhere in the middle of Portsmouth, say. So yeah, we've got some groovy little doodahs there, IDs, and we've got another one inside, Admiralty property, on the silver always tarnishes, never mind. Yeah, lovely. We've got some new vistas in there, lots of tech goodness, and as usual we've got some pitting on the metal and some corrosion. That's only to be expected. Quite a few Qs and 3 ECC 88s, 60J7s, 8s, sorry. It's really hard, remembering all this shit. So thanks, Mike. I'll put that with the rest of them. Can't have too many plugins, can we? What we got next? Right, you sent me a load of sort of bike stuff. As you know, I'm a biker, nude biker. Alright, that's not fun, right? And this is all to do with bike voltage regulation. So Mike's got a Ducati, which is the where do you call it? The regulator hasn't been this factory regulator on Ducatis, unlike on a lot of bikes, isn't very good. So he sent me like these connectors. I think they like just connector kits, and I presume they yeah, look, they sort of go in there like that for the pins. I'm not sure whether my bike has these or not. If not, either I'll use them, or if somebody I know uses them, it will all get used. So thanks again, Mike. Let me just pop you in there. Hey, look, Bobby Dazzlers. Just put that over there. And then there's this. I think this is the old regulator or a new regulator. He did tell me. Sorry, Mike, I've forgotten. You know what I'm like. So that's a lot beefier than the one on my bike. I know that for a fact. I think one of my bikes is about that big. And then here we've got some more sort of bikey goodness. Shiny, lovely bits and bobs. Right, that looks like another sort of connector. Yes, I would think that goes like that. Look at that fuse. That's a stonker, isn't it? Actually, these fuses are really good for, I know you shouldn't really fuse your heaters in a valve amp, but yeah, they're useful for that, those automotive fuses. So obviously that goes like that, like that. So this is a fuse holder, I would presume, and fuse. But yeah, that's a nice chunky fuse. Now I'm going a bit quick, but I've got a bit to go through. And he also sent me a nice bit of 4mm alley for backing plate if I want to make my own regulator, which I shall do at some point. And lastly, he sent me a bulb, halogen bulb for the motorbike. I don't ride at night because of me night vision. However, I have my lights always on the bike, and that's a really good idea because cars do have a habit of pulling out in front of bikers and maiming them. Look at that, that's a spanker, isn't it? That is a Bobby Dazzler. Right, thank you, Mike, once again. So let's just pop you in there, my old duck. Move that up nicely and move those over there. Next we have 3 2N2501s for the Tektronix 547 oscilloscope from Cricklewood Electronics. They look like new old stock, so I've got it over there at the moment. I'm going to go and install those in a minute. They owe me 3. I ordered 6. They weren't cheap, £3 each, but you know, wherever. Next we have 6 new old stock UX7 ceramic valve bases. Brand new. Yes, they're a little bit knackered and they will need some bit of cleaning up and a bit of work. Oh no, I just noticed that. They are the dual type of securing, so you can either secure them through those 2 holes there, or you can like put the plate, and they got these like crinkly sort of washers, which there's not, I haven't seen many valve bases like this. There is some on the big green amp. They were octal type. See, you got like a spring washer there that secures it, like I say, I've got them on the big green amp, but I'm not too enamoured with that method of whatnot, but they are smashing, and they will do for our next amp build, which is going to be a parallel 2C 3.4 20 watt amp, and I'm going to wind the output transformer for that myself, so that'll be fun. They weren't, I think they were, what were they? The bloke knocked a few bob off. They were 35 quid delivered. So what's 35? Only we got 6 5s for 35, 6 quid each, and I think that's a good price for new old stock, because these are far better than the Chinese ceramic jobbies. Far 100% better. Next is not this. I think I'm going to use these laminations and cores for the output transformers. Great big buggers, so it'll have lovely low frequency bass response. Ian sent me those some time back. What I needed was, I call them end bells. I don't know why I call them end bells. Shrouds. And these came from a place in Germany. Might as well. I just noticed. No, they're underneath there. The holes underneath there. Guess how much they were? I mean, they were already like, you know, this colour. That's probably me knocked them about. They were already black. They were about €3 each. 3.5 euros. And I think altogether it came to €22 delivered. As you know, the UK is no longer in the European community, sadly. And we have to, you know, everything has to go through past the customs, which can be problematic and slow deliveries down. Like I say, they took 5 days, and they are brilliant because they're like really deep, over an inch deep I think. Fit lovely, and obviously like, and one will go there and another one will go there. Well, that's not really a good way of doing it, is it? Do it properly. And then all I've got to do is, see better there, can't you? Sort of. Yeah. Then all I've got to do is just make up a couple of 4L brackets just to secure it to the amp. So that's going to be a big jocking amp in it. Again, I do like making big amps though, although I don't like lifting them. Yeah, they're Bobby Dazzlers, so well chuffed with that. Anything else? Right, well that's it. I'm sure there was something else, but I don't know what it was. So thank you all to, thanks again Mike, and all the other bits I bought me Sen. Well chuffed with all that. Keep me busy once again. Just a little bit of a quick sort of filler in video. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves. Ta-ra for now.